What is up, everybody? Welcome back. We are in here for day two. As you guys seen in the last episode, if you've been keeping up, went ahead and did the shelter, we did the waterer, and we did the smoker, and we caught ourselves a fish and we smoked it. We are gonna wait for this to cook, and then we're gonna continue on. All right. I think game plan is gonna have to be uh, start searching some wrecks. I think I got enough daylight to get maybe one or two done. Um, so we're gonna go ahead and do that, right? So the way I play Stranded Deep is I like to get my home base put together well, loot the island. Once I loot the island, then I'll build a raft. So maybe we'll be getting to that here soon. Um, this particular shipwreck doesn't tend to be full of anything, right? And it takes a lot of air to get down there and get it done, get her catch her breath, and it's actually getting dark, so this is probably not the best of ideas to go ahead and we'll just go ahead and pick the crate up. Best of ideas to just go ahead and float around in the dark, because once it gets dark out, you cannot see in front of your face in this water, man. So I think we'll call it one good loot, go back, uh, wait for our food, and we'll see exactly what we have in our box. And this is, Stranded Deep, my guys. This is a brand new channel, so I just started this channel, and I'm trying to start off on a game that I enjoy playing, right? So, Stranded Deep is definitely up there with those games that I will grind indefinitely. Even after I've completed the main task in the game, I definitely like to uh, continue on playing and grinding this game. So, I like throwing my spears right there. I got one more on me still. My spears are always there. Bam. We have fishing spears where we need fishing. This should be pretty close to getting cooked here soon. So we'll start having that there to start a little pile. There's that. So definitely we're going to go ahead and we will deaden our fire off. Cool. I think what I'll do too is go ahead and not not that. I don't want to expend that. What I'll go ahead and do is take another palm tree so I can get some palm fronds, and I'll throw the palm fronds on my waterer. So basically, what I'll do is sleep, let the hunger run up, and then when you wake up in the morning, you have a full thing of water to drink and a full thing of food to eat, right? So it's definitely a good practice to set yourself up like that. And I don't believe that the cooked meat will expire by the time morning rolls around, but we will find out. Usually I try to do it in the morning, but for the sake of the video and for the sake of um, doing that intro tutorial for you guys, I decided to get the whole setup ready to roll. So we'll throw our water on here, or throw our water on here. We'll throw our palm fronds on. Nah, I didn't want to drink it, man. I didn't want to do that, man. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and we're going to sleep. Awesome. Wake up. Just barely daytime. And look at there. Food ready to be eaten. I didn't want to reattach. There we go. Take 2 bites. Give us almost a full bar. 4 drinks. Give us almost a full bar. And we have 2 on there. We can actually go ahead and eat this coconut. Almost. Go ahead and drop that. I'm going to attach that to a quick thing. we break the empty coconut, what we get is food. So we have full food, almost full drink, and we are not going to waste any time here. Well, maybe just a little bit. And go ahead. I think I see a rock right there. I'm going to grab that rock. A rock on a rock, you guys. Okay. So I looted that one. We're going to loot this one next, which I believe I was already here. Let's give it a double check. Be sure. Didn't leave anything. So tires is definitely going to be something that we're going to want to grab. And I think I remember doing this. Okay. Nothing. And virtually nothing. That's going to be the next one that we check. And the way that you spot these wrecks is just looking out into the water, especially some of these deeper water ones. Especially some of these deeper water ones. They definitely show on the water, right? So what I'm thinking, there's not a lot of shipwreck to check here. We might just go ahead and go for that island. It looks like a really good island, but I was hoping to get a couple more containers so I can fill some stuff in it from the island, like tear down my shelter or my smoker and get some of my material back. That way I'm kind of set and ready to go to set up over there. But I'm thinking that that's going to be our best option at this point. I'll leave the shelter. I will empty out the crate. None of the Yucca has respawned back. We do have a couple of these guys laying around. Might as well just kind of resource dig this island, pack what we can pack, and get out of here. I'm not too worried about the planks and like the metal stuff, but we can take this stuff out too. That stuff is, by the time you get to a couple islands, you're gonna have so much of this stuff. Right. So I'm gonna go ahead and make that. So I have it. We're leaving this. Yeah, we're gonna go ahead and just move. Oh, better drink that first. Good. So I'm gonna collect all of this, what I can. I'm gonna take the smoker as well. Perfect. Give me my lashing. That, I think a couple sticks. And that should be it. I have enough to carry the box. I don't need this stuff. I thought my boat. Yeah, I think it's over here. So I'm gonna grab the raft, and we're actually just gonna go for it, take off for that island across. I don't usually drag the life raft. I might actually not. I might just swim across, you guys. Take what I need. I can't really take it. Oh, yeah, I can. Let's drop that. Let's go in here. Let's put some stuff into the... Definitely want to keep the compass. Um, cool. So now for the long swim. We left behind a shelter, a fire pit. By the time when we get over here, we won't be able to actually gather up the stuff that we need. We already have the cloth, save ourselves some time. I brought some sticks with. That way it gives us a kind of a head start. I'm actually going to build this kind of in reverse. of what I did on the island there. Possibly start with the waterer. Definitely want to do what we can as fast as we can. So this island definitely is way bigger than the one that we started with. Some people I've watched a lot of these videos, and what they do is they go to the big island first, but it's kind of like, it's all the extra effort to get over there. And when you're really first starting off, you just eat so much of your first day doing that we can get solidified. And if I really wanted to, I could stay on that island, right? I could have stayed on that little island for a couple more days, got my crafting up, mined the rocks or whatever. But by the time it's all said and done, after you get through, 4 or 5 islands, you will have accumulated so much stuff. What I kind of would have liked to have did before I left would have been maybe make a raft and sail it over here. But with raft building comes needing more cloth, needing more rope. You're probably going to end up needing to recraft your crude axe, and it's kind of once you use all of the materials off that island, like the rocks and things like that, some of the stuff gets really hard to do, right? And what you'll end up doing is you'll get yourself put into a spot where you have to wait for the young palms to respawn and wait for the yucca to regrow to finish your boat. So it's almost better to go to a bigger island that has more of that stuff available, or loot a small island, go to the big island, then you have more stuff and you can actually get a good foothold at the second island. And that's kind of been my idea from the get. Even though that there was like tires and things like that to make rafts, I like making rafts out of the sticks out of the wood. I will actually make them out of the tires and the buoys or things like that if I'm just in a pinch or something like that. But I do not prefer to build them out of that material. But we are almost to our new home. This one should actually have boar on it, which boar comes along with leather. Leather comes along with the refined axe. And we'll just see kind of what we can get right off Jump Street. Probably pick up a couple rocks. I know we're going to need a couple rocks. I think I'm looking at. Oh, I'm just looking at a conch there. Okay. Let's skirt this island real quick before we go on mainland and see if we can turn up some of our well wanted, well needed materials that we're looking for. All right, here's our cloth. Okay. That's extra cloth. That's going to be a sail. There's another cloth. That is going to end up being a rudder. We have a box with leather and rope. Okay. We'll go ahead and carry that. I think I'm going to go ahead and get up here on land. So many rocks I have. I have two. Carry two more. It doesn't really matter where we build, but I want to pick a decent spot. Okay, I don't have enough room in the inventory for this to carry any more. So, just a nice little spot. See, this is another thing too, is like these crabs and things like that, they occupy probably some of the prime real estate. And when you play it on passive mode, you can kind of just do what you want, build where you want. And I like going around the island and finding me a nice, decent spot to build, right? Sometimes I'll build it up close. Sometimes I build it out on the outer edges. If you are playing in a mode that's not passive, I would definitely recommend building it on the outskirts, right? Building it on the outer edge. That way you have clear view of where you've been and where you come from, things like that. So right here is going to do just fine, right? I'll tuck the shelter up in there, tuck the waterer over there, probably do our fire pit out here somewhere. So I believe what I want to build first is the water still, since I am carrying everything and it is kind of super important, right? Can't live without water. We are going to go ahead. I'm going to have to chop down a tree is what I'm going to have to do. Put in, let me drop my boxes here. So I'll put my box pile like right here. Okay, so those have been dropped. And I'm gonna need rope. I'm gonna need sticks. And oh yeah, I gotta do this first. My shelter's gonna be like right in there, or maybe right in here, right out here. So where I'm gonna do this, throw a fire pit on it. Bam. Do we have enough? No, we do not have enough to do. We need 3 sticks. All right, so we're gonna go gather up some sticks, and we'll be back. I'm just gonna do these just so I don't have to run around the island, save a little bit of time. Oh yeah, let's go. And this kind of maybe seem a little bit redundant, right? Building on that island, tearing it down, bringing it over here, building on this island, but it's all like incrementally getting us better. So, like the first time that I set this up, when I had to scavenge all of it myself, ended up taking about 20 minutes. Versus this, I've been here 3 or 4 minutes on this island, and I'm already almost there, right? So next, I'm gonna have to chop down a palm tree. So I like taking the shorter palm trees first, because if not, you just got big logs laying around unless you chop them up. It doesn't. It just kind of clutters up things. Like this would be a good one to take because it's like literally in the cliff, right? It's not really taken away from the landscape or leaving a stump on the ground, which is another issue that you can run into, right? So now, which will never get the coconut off that tree, what either anyway, shape or form, right? If I can even get it out of the hill. Maybe I can. Nah, okay, so that was a bad idea. Scratch everything that I just said. We'll take the short run like I initially planned on. Okay, so I'm gonna have to check the durability of my tool here when I'm done doing this little part. One thing that you really don't want to do is mess around and accidentally vaporize your tool without having another one to replace it, right? So when we start getting low, we need to start thinking about what we need to do to look at um, making the refined, right? We got the piece of leather out of the box, so we're already like in that direction. We're already in that step, and see, I'm being a little bit less picky about what I'm doing here as far as chopping down trees or whatever. I feel confident that this would be a good island to stay on for a while. Get me a lot of things built, and I'm gonna need a rope unless I picked one up. I have rope, okay. So shelter, boom. It's just fine by me. I'm a little off on my angle. I would rather should have did that. Let's see how many sticks we have. We have 2 sticks. 2 sticks is a perfect amount of sticks for kindling. Awesome. So there you go. I've set this island up to be a nice jump for a couple minutes, right? Within a couple minutes. So now what I can start doing is I can start doing things like gathering up the palm fronds. Let's go ahead and look at our 63%. Okay, so I have enough to actually craft the first tool belt, which I'll hold off on that for the time being, just because I might want to get a couple other things rolling that I'm not thinking of right now. So we're just gonna walk around and look for young palms, and we're gonna make a lot of rope. And we're gonna start stockpiling some of this stuff, right? Never hurts. I need to gather up the rocks on this island as well. Yes, I do. And I need to also find, so I have 2 extra pieces of cloth. I need to find up all the rocks. I need to find up all the young palm fronds I can. So it's kind of like the same process repeated as the first island, except for we're already set up. So now we're doing this. This is all free, right? It's all free go. I have a full day ready to rip, right? So I won't even have to eat until tomorrow, if I really wanted to push it out that far. And I'm kind of just living La Vida Loca at the moment. So we're currently thriving. I'm gonna need to find or build a hammer. Once we get these resources up, we are gonna go ahead and you can almost barely see those a lot of the time. I need to locate the yucca on this island as well. So as we're just like milling around, we need to be keeping mental note, like, oh, okay, the yucca's on that side. They're where to look for because I've actually been on islands before, and you'll be walking around and you'll walk past the yucca five, six, seven, eight, a whole bunch of times. That's like kind of unnecessary, and it happens, right? It happens. Getting lost on these islands is not easy or not a hard thing to do, and it's kind of you just get lost in searching, right? I'm so worried about looking for resources that I don't pay attention to where I'm actually at. Like I couldn't tell you that I was about to walk up on this shelter. So what I've seen here is either I have missed so many of these, which as I can see, I've missed a whole chunk of the island, but this is a lot of rope, right? This is going to be a lot of rope. As far as I have spotted, I've not spotted the yucca yet, but I also have not spotted this whole chunk of young palms. So we're yet to find the yucca, and the yucca hides sometimes. The yucca will hide on you. There's a snake. I would have been bit and poisoned and looking for pee pee all day. So run that. Give me that. Some aloe or something of the way. Some more young palms. But see, it's kind of like I've seen so many young palms and I have not gathered. I've already checked this corner, but I have not found one yucca plant yet. So these islands do get a little bit of balance to them, and some of them are just not good islands. Like it's not a good island. Like now that I've been here, I'm having such a hard time finding the yucca plants. And maybe I walked past them. Who knows, really? Oh, that's a nice fruit tree. I'm gonna need to find that yucca, man. If they don't have a yucca plant on it, that's not a yucca. Hmm. So this is looking bad because yucca's probably the most indispensable, plentiful resource that you get, because it renews and it's very useful material, right? It takes a little bit of time sometimes to renew, but all in all, it's definitely you want to have that on your island. See, I just walked over this, and there's a rock. Okay, so now what I'll do is I'll start skirting the outside. I'm assuming there's no yucca on this. Start skirting the outside for the rocks. So sometimes it's easier to see them right at dusk, right? Because they're just a little bit darker. And I swear I've been on an island and I've walked over the same rock 100 times. I thought I might have seen a rock there, but obviously I'm mistaken. Yeah, I did. Okay. I'm just gonna keep skirting the hillside. gathered up quite a few rocks. I know I walked over a bunch when I came in here. So what I've gathered from no yucca on this island. There's pigs on this island though. What we were gonna do is we're gonna try to get to a refined axe, and then we're gonna start chopping down trees and making our raft, making our boat, right? Um, I know that I want to loot all the wrecks, but it's not right at the top of the list at the moment. Nothing's really at the top of the list at the moment. I better grab myself a couple sticks. Um, I only got one sip of water, so that's, or we got two sips. Let's go ahead and just make some lashing. So that gave us seven, seven ropes, and we could probably still scrounge up two, two more young palms if I've walked past any. Which the chances are pretty high, right? The chances are pretty high that I've walked past one. And also, skirting this island like 3 times, I've picked a lot of it clean. So maybe that's what I'm gonna do. Is I'm gonna try to search exactly for two young palms, and if I don't find it, then I'm just like two young palms down from making another rope. So I'm maxed out at 7 ropes, which I'm gonna need rope for every plank that I make for my boat. So we're faced with an issue there. Size of our boat is going to be limited, but at the same time, like a 4-piece boat is a good, decent sized boat to make. So what I'm going to do, we'll go ahead, hit that sleep button, and when we come back, we are going to go ahead. Okay, we're good for a while. I'm going to go ahead and start chopping this one up. There's the one of them. I walked right by it 50 times. That little pig. Alright, so I got a couple things on the to-do list. I think I'm going to start with the raft and see where it takes me, right? Now I can run my axe down, try to make the refined axe. I've kind of utilized and saved on all my utilized and saved on all of the rocks, right? So stockpiling these rocks and things like that is definitely going to help you out, man. You know, that's either 12 or 16. Let's see if I have enough to do a boat. Okay, so I do not yet have enough to do a boat, but I'm getting pretty close, right? It looks like I can't really see it. Maybe 14 sticks in a rope. So that upped my craftsmanship, making those ropes. I can make kindling, I can make a knife. I could do a hammer. Don't necessarily need a hammer right at the exact second. That's what we're gonna go ahead and make. I should have the material for it. Oh, I better drop some stuff. What do I want to drop? So we drop a lot of our stuff. I'll drop some more rocks there, right? And there is a way to make a pile, you guys. So I could like pile that up if I wanted to pile it up. I actually need two of these rocks. We're gonna make the refined axe. Okay, so that's gonna do a lot of good. Um, Let me see what I've done with. Did I drop it? Let me look at something. Oh yeah, you need the crude axe to do that. Okay. Which I should have waited, right? So if I would have waited to burn down my axe and then make the refined axe, then I would have had an axe for twice as long. But since I'm sitting so good right now, I decided to go ahead and do that. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna go ahead and have breakfast. Them rations do so much good. And now crafting that, my crafting did not go up any, so kind of deciphering a game plan as we speak. I can definitely make a loom if I wanted to make a loom. A loom would do that. Make cloth for you. Um, Tanning rock. So we're just gonna go to the or tanning rack rather. There's another rock for me. So we're just gonna look around. Maybe we have two planks. So I'm kind of scoping out, thinking ahead for kind of thinking in my brain what I want to do exactly for the boat when I do have the ability to do the boat. 2 days survived. I could have swore there was another shipwreck than the ones. There's the second one that I missed. Okay. Give me something that I want to swim to, guys. I'm not seeing it. So no yucca. I've harvested all the young palms and given myself a good little stockpile to start with. So what do we want to do here? I don't really necessarily want to keep carving trees. I can make another rope. I'll start there. Okay. Maybe I will go ahead and make the tool belt. Yeah, I'll make the tool belt. No, I shouldn't, because that's my cloth. Pondering, pondering, pondering. I guess we'll kill a pig. Try to pick up that rock. And that rock. And there is two planks on this island. It's the fun part about passive mode. Get out of my... That was perfect. So we'll go ahead and do this. A lot of good materials in these pigs. I believe it's 5 pieces of meat for the big one, possibly. I could be mistaken. One little, or medium. 2 medium. What? For a whole pig? I guess it's 2 large, wasn't 2 medium. Why are you doing that to me? knife back up. Okay, got that on the way. Throw a prawn on our fire. Chop a hmm. So this is what we've accumulated. We'll see if that allowed us to do our boat. I don't believe that will. It's crafting. What can we craft? Game plan, game plan, game plan, you guys. Nah, we can craft a bow. So what I'm trying to do now is what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to add this axe to my tool belt. So now I shouldn't be carrying it, right? I can put it away. I can reattach it with the up arrow. So I'm still needing, I'm not going to do that one, that's for sure. Hmm. Gather up some palm fronds for the water. Just kind of stuck in limbo until I can get my crafting up for a boat, right? But what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go ahead and start chopping up this stuff, making my stick piles, getting my palm fronds, things of that nature. If I can get a nice heavy pile of sticks going, I should be able to hit my boat in one go when I get there for my craftsmanship, right? And I know that was a little bit a lull of figuring out exactly what I want to do, but it's good to think. It's good to have a good process and thought process behind. So I believe I have gathered enough sticks and rope for two portions of a boat, right? And I think it takes 16 altogether to make 16 sticks altogether to make the floor and the floaty part of the boat. But I think we're gonna stockpile this little bit of stuff here, and we're gonna wrap it up, you guys. We'll come back on the next one, and what we'll do is we'll actually start diving into some of this stuff. Hopefully, when we come back, we'll get the craftsmanship level up another level, and we'll start building on our boat. Right now, see this part of the process would have been good to do with the crude axe and save on the refined axe. And when the crude axe gets down to a super low number, then do the refined axe. But sometimes the refined axe is definitely worth not waiting a whole crude axe to obtain, right? I have plentiful items available to make another one if I so choose. Get myself a couple of days worth of wood and a couple of days worth of palm fronds for water, and we'll be in there, right? So I have a nice little line of sticks, nice little stockpile of everything that we need: sticks, water. We got lots of meat actually, and it's smoked, so it will stay good for a long time. I'm actually not even gonna eat this yet. I'm gonna go ahead and hit the save on this, you guys. And when we come back, maybe we'll eat and do some other things. But thank y'all for tuning in. Thanks for coming into the channel. Don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button, yo.